Speaker Chloe Johnson is also from Bear Creek High School.
Sexism. It's a word that we've all heard and something that most of us have experienced. Sexism. It's a word that has become so integrated into our daily speech and conversations that we don't even think twice about it when it leaves our lips. But sexism is not an everyday term. Sexism is defined by Britannica.com as prejudice or discrimination based on gender or sex, especially against women and girls. But it's so much more than that. Sexism is a word that transcends its denotative meaning. It's an umbrella of malevolent possibilities, opening the doors to so much more than just being told that you throw like a girl. Sexism allows homophobia, transphobia, and misogyny. It excuses rape, sexual violence, and harassment, and the way that we as a society deal with these crimes. It is the root of so many evils in our world, and it affects everyone, women and men alike. In Emma Watson's He for She United Nations address in 2014, she stated, "We don't often talk about men being imprisoned by society's gender ideas, but I can see that they are, and that when they are free, things will change for women as a natural consequence. If men don't have to be aggressive in order to be accepted, women won't feel compelled to be submissive. If men don't have to be in control, women will not have to be controlled." This imposition of gender stereotypes is detrimental to everybody. It discredits women in male-dominated fields such as STEM or military and law enforcement. It criticizes women who decide not to take the traditional path of having children to instead focus on their career. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, it judges young women who decide to forego a college education in order to fulfill their dream of starting a family. It teaches women to be ambitious, but not so much that you step on the toes of ambitious men. It tells women to be assertive, but not so much that you come off as bossy or controlling. To be kind, but not so much that you are seen as timid and exploitable. My sophomore year of high school, I was sexually assaulted by two of my closest and most trusted friends and confidants. When I told a trusted female teacher, she told me to let it go, to move on, to deal with it on my own, because bringing the situation to light would cause more trouble than it was worth. And I took her words to heart. As a 15-year-old girl, I became self-reliant, and I became addicted to alcohol and drugs. I had to take a couple shots to go to sleep at night and to forget what they did to me. When I went to school, I was called sluts and whores by some of my closest friends since elementary school. And I was abandoned by the people closest to me, while their friends gave them high fives and fist bumps through the halls. I was destroyed. But now, 2 years later, I see all of this Me Too going around on social media. So many women sharing the same experiences as me. And it wasn't until recently, until I was 17 years old, that I was able to look at what happened to me and understand it and accept it and grow and move past it. But it's not just women who are affected. You see, femininity is defined by Merriam-Webster as the quality of being female, while the same dictionary defines masculinity as possession of qualities traditionally associated with men. Think about that. Why must men possess traditionally male qualities in order to be considered masculine, while women must simply be women in order to be feminine? This imposition of gender roles promotes toxic masculinity and tells our men that their feelings are invalid and not manly. According to the American Association for Suicide Prevention, men commit suicide 3.5 times more often than women. And the demographic that commits suicide more than any other is middle-aged men. But we don't talk about this, and we silence the tears of our men by telling them that they must be macho and that they must be manly. This imposition of gender roles and toxic masculinity is killing our fathers, our sons, our brothers, and our friends. We must change the way that we think about gender. It is not a black and white issue. It is not two-sided. And the belief that it is what makes sexism possible. It's what discredits women in male-dominated fields. It's what silences women who want to speak up about their harassment and their rape. It's what's killing our men and telling them that they're not allowed to cry. It hurts us all. We must stand up for ourselves. We must stand up for our brothers and our sisters. We must not allow ourselves to be restrained by the chains of society's ideas about gender. We must stand up to sexism. Thank you.